all the neighborhoods have to focus on the 5 variables, not only one. So they do have to focus on map assets, on residents, on buildings, on spark average.
Welcome back, everybody, to another Upland Player Podcast. I am here with the one and only Rockdrigo. Rockdrigo, thank you for joining me today.
Hello, X1. Nice to be here. Thank you very much. Hello.
Yeah, I was super excited to connect with you. You are the stat guy when it comes to all things neighborhood ratings. My first exposure to you was on a couple of different podcasts that I saw where you take the time to go over all the stats with reference to neighborhood ratings. How did you become the neighborhood ratings stat guy?
Yeah, so based on previous tables that Upland had put away, and then we couldn't follow them because they just updated daily and we didn't have any record of those. I started manually gathering the data for the top 50 because it was manual and it was quite labor intense. But then I was able to download the table, and oh God, that changed everything. Yeah, so right now I just run 2 command codes and I get the resident data and the neighborhood data, and I try to put it in some charts in different type of graphics and different filters in an interactive graph that they can find in the tweet that I usually send. And there they can find their neighborhood and they can see what they are happening, how many residents they have, how have been they growing in ratings. And I also put like a 7 moving average chart, a 15-day moving average chart, a 30-day moving average chart, so that people can actually try to analyze their neighborhood and see what is going on. Try to see what other hoods are doing and try to like imitate them. So basically, I saw the opportunity that I could. We were expecting neighborhood data, neighborhood ratings since a long time ago. So it was like the moment for me. It just clicked. So yeah, let's gather the data, and then I said, well, me alone and our neighborhood alone is not going to really solve anything at all. So let's push this to the community. And then I started actually doing it daily. So I had a daily tweet about what was going on with top 10 and on all the biggest moves around. And I've been slowly downing it because of time issues, but I still update the interactive chart quite a couple of days. So yeah, if anyone wants to jump in there, there it is.
Yeah, where can players find that chart?
They can find it in Tableau. I'll send you the link later.
Very cool. Yeah, and everybody, we'll put it in the description to make sure you guys can click it and check it out. So as you've dove into neighborhood ratings, what are some things that have really stood out to you, especially, once they got started? The first neighborhoods, the first top neighborhoods, did they do something different than it's being done now? Has anything evolved? What are some observations you've had since looking at all the data?
Yeah, it has been a pretty interesting story on all the actual community spawned neighborhood collections that they are all awesome. So things have evolved quite a lot. Basically, I think a lot of neighborhoods are understanding a little bit better how each of the 5 variables are impacted on each of the on how many points to get. So they have changed. They have started to focus more on either one of the neighborhoods in Manhattan, or people in LA started gathering together to help one neighborhood before another one. Or trying to get like an army of map assets to move from one place to another. But yeah, putting a lot of spark, asking for the community to help. That's the way to go.
Yeah. So yeah, what do the communities that succeed in the neighborhood ratings? Is there a commonality in practices that they do? For instance, you mentioned networking as a community. That to me must be critical in having success as a neighborhood.
Yeah, definitely. The community is, I think, the way to go. Besides besides being the best thing about or around Upland, I love the community from the beginning. The community has been like the part of Upland, no? So creating a neighborhood and helping constructing it to be a collection, there has to be a lot of help from the community, definitely. I don't think I've seen a pattern yet from the communities that have already spawned collection. They have been doing different things each other. We are still learning. I think the ratings right now are kind of good. I know there's a lot of talk between bigger neighborhoods and smaller neighborhoods. There are ways to handle that kind of to help those communities that have that kind of disadvantage, but I haven't seen that yet in the actual ratings impacting them. We could focus on specifics, but so far, even though you haven't been completely open with the ratings, that's kind of part of the idea. I love it.
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick, because there are some. So it's a competition, a month to month, and anytime there's a competition, some neighborhoods just barely miss out, some barely make it in, and so sometimes the cry comes like, "Hey, neighborhood ratings are broken." From where you stand, from your deep dive, what is your opinion on that? Are they working as intended at the moment? Is there some issues there? What's your opinion?
For me, and I'm just measuring 2 parts of the 5 variables, just 2 of the 5 variables, so I don't have the full visibility. I still investigate and dive around in the neighborhoods to see how they are growing with both buildings and assets, and try to understand that part. But I do feel they are working so far as they have been intended. For neighborhoods that are still struggling, I think their current strategy may not be the best then, and they have to rethink and maybe select a month in a later date so that they can do a long-term commitment to really making it happen, and understanding that moving average that they really have to grow. Because if they have 1,000 spark building, but they just keep building with that 1,000 spark, there is no moving average change on that. So yeah, they need to rethink how they do that.
Interesting. So I don't give away any secrets that you might have that you're holding on closely, but what would be 1 or 2 of the top tips you could give for a neighborhood that's looking to succeed in the neighborhood rating competition?
Community first, I think. Gather the most people that are into the same project. Try to get people outside of that to know that you are doing something there. I know bigger neighborhoods will need to get a lot of help from the community. So make them, if nobody yells, no one is going to listen to them. So make them be heard, and create a strategy for really making an impact in each of the variables with that moving average. So they need to grow on each of the 5 intelligently or strategically in order to grow.
Very cool. And so do you have an example of a type of strategy that so for instance, like my neighborhood, would we utilize buildings? Would we utilize map assets? Like what would be an example strategy?
No, all the neighborhoods have to focus on the 5 variables, not only 1. So they do have to focus on map assets, on residents, on buildings, on spark average. So if you are struggling with, let's say type of buildings. So there is because it's average spark hours spent in the actual neighborhoods, in the plots. It counts until it's inaugurated, the building, and each type of building gives a different spark amount of hours. So you would need to focus, for example, to try to build a lot of all the smaller properties, like the micro ones. So have like, I don't know, 10 micros being inaugurated in the first couple of days of the month. Then you follow with the small builds, so the ranches and the small townhouses. Finish those in the next couple of days. Then move to the townhouses. Then move to the luxe ranches, and then to the apartments. If you have also factories and all those different types of buildings, then make sure that they will finish so that they can help the moving average rather than avoid it. No, because if you finish a factory in the first days of the month, then the moving average that you will need to input in the neighborhood, it will be a lot bigger because of the amount of spark hours invested.
You've set your baseline high.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's fascinating. I'm sure if you're listening, this is come to Rockdrigo. He knows what he's doing. He's dove into the stats here. So yeah, that's great. That's great tips. So you're a part of Quailwood. Tell me a little bit about Quailwood. What is the Quailwood neighborhood? Where is it? What are you guys doing?
Yeah. So community. 1 year after I arrived to Upland, well, a little bit before you started a luxury contest in Tarpey. So we were the second place, and then we decided to create that neighborhood that we already wanted and we were fantasizing about. And we found that Quailwood had a very nice mixture of huge props that would fit luxury ranches. So we are focusing basically a lot in being a luxury ranch neighborhood. We just created our logo. Thanks for Tosshead for the design.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah,
very because it's in Bakersfield, correct?
It is in Bakersfield.
Yeah, that has a very Bakersfield. Like if you've been to Bakersfield, that has that like 70s, late 70s, early 80s Bakersfield architecture. That's cool.
A sign of a development community. So yeah, basically we started. We saw that there were about to soon to be ratings about neighborhoods. So from the start, we built luxury ranches, most of them. We are 65% built already. We have 48% of luxury ranches and apartments already. We're number 7 at the ratings. And we just turned 2 years as a community in last July. We had an amazing scavenger hunt in August with the help of Howard Beach and their server. So yeah, basically we know we are a small community. We are out in Bakersfield. We are not tier 1 or anything, but it's an amazing place. The community that has grown there, spawned there is just amazing. We are focusing on what are we going to do after being a collection, no? Because we just have to start with a limited one, but we are aiming to be like an ultra rare collection, hopefully. So because we are a small neighborhood and we are already 65% built, we're not being able to build more afterwards. So we have to think smart about what are we going to do forwards. And basically is we're getting some factories around and start getting a lot of events going on. We have a lot of stores. We have 2 car stores, 2 3B stores, 3 soccer stores, an ornament one, map assets, already a stock car store. We already have 3 racetracks.
Wow, you guys are popping. Yeah,
we're enjoying very nicely the what you guys have built for us.
Well, I love the luxury ranch house. How did you guys decide to be a luxury ranch neighborhood?
I think it was spawned from the actual competition that you guys did about creating, building a lot of luxes and see which neighborhood built the most in that same month. So basically we thought, yeah, that's like it should work. So if we are going to be a neighborhood and it's going to be a collection, then we do need to invest the most out of it. So luxury ranches.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, if someone's listening to this and they're like, this neighborhood sounds so cool, is there properties up for sale? Is it something that's easy to get in on? Is your neighborhood a little bit more difficult to get in? How would a player go about getting into
Yeah,
Quailwood?
we were actually very close until July that we turned 2 years, and we decided to open with that event. So currently the floor is kind of a little bit weird. I think it's over $100 or something like that. Not that easy like in the second market, but we cherish community players and great people. So anyone willing to really put their minds and of course spark and everything else towards the community to really making it a lot better, then they are very welcome. We've been welcoming quite a couple of people these days, and it's amazing. Yeah,
excellent. And so do you guys communicate in-game chat primarily on a Discord server? How are you guys coordinating?
We actually have a very nice and structured Discord server. There hasn't been much invites around because of the same thing, and I have been focusing more on ratings than the server invites. But we can share the link as well below.
Awesome, excellent. So let's talk about treasure hunting. You told me before the show that you got yourself to 20 spark via treasure hunting over the last year and a half or so. How did you get into treasure hunting to where you were able to have that much success?
Yeah, actually, at the beginning, I was treasure hunting in Staten Island, and I thought it was good. I'm not sure why. Yeah, but then I found I was able to hunt in San Francisco and in Manhattan and beat the big guys, and I was just playing in my phone, and I started liking it, and I said, well, I should be better buying like 2 or 5 properties in Manhattan and spend like 100 K UPX in them back then, to have a nice web. And if I can beat them without having many properties, why should I waste a lot of money in a big web in somewhere else? No.
Yep.
So then I started discussing with Quailwood, and we started saying, well, a big web should be a lot better. One of our guys is hunting in Chicago and is doing very, very well, but I hadn't like that much money to spend a very big web in Chicago. But then I got into Queens, and I started liking it, and started growing my web and understanding the arrows and everything. And I love the game, the mini game. And then it clicked and said, yeah, let's make a big web in Queens. I have 313 properties right now.
Wow. So you have a big web. Yeah,
kind of big, but yeah, it's for me, it's a huge so far. And that helps me a lot to enjoy hunting a lot better, but also to get more spark, because we will need spark in the future, and to manufacture things, and that's amazing. So yeah, spark is the way to go. I love hunting, and I just amazingly made the 2 last chests because yesterday I just found one, and I was I'm having the interview tomorrow, and it's just two chests. Come on. And then I woke up and one. Oh, come on, 10 minutes next, another one. 20.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Well done. So I know treasure hunting is a little intimidating for players when they first start. There's a little bit of a learning curve there. What are some tips you have for new players to get into treasure hunting?
There's a guide from, I'm not sure who. There are several guides, but the one I stumbled upon was what you said. Treasure hunting, the best or worst thing that could happen to you in Upland. Because you start with, you have to pay, and then so many fees with the send fees, and then you don't get a big amount of UPX. But what is the strategy? Don't see it. Make a strategy, actually. Don't see it daily. So see it weekly. If you see it weekly, you will see that you might lost 1,000, 2,000 UPX 1 or 2 days, but the other days you got spark and you got those bigger amount of chests. So all in all, at the end of the week, you have a lot more, a bigger view of what is happening in your hunting. So regardless of losing 2,000 UPX, you won in general in the whole week 10,000 UPX and maybe 10 spark.
Yeah.
So that's a whole lot more, and you don't feel like that bad because you're losing that day. And there are days that they are just like the 230 chests, and all day long 230 chests until I'm about to get to bed and no spark. And well, yeah, it happens. It's a
Yeah.
mini game.
Yeah, I like that. Take a longer view, broaden out your view to a week instead of day by day, and
Yeah.
it's the way to go. You started treasure hunting, you said, on your phone. Is that do you recommend starting that way? Do you recommend starting on the web? What's best practices there?
Oof. I definitely think if you have a computer that can handle the hunting and upland, because it does do some work on the computer. But if you have the computer, go for it, because of the mouse movements and the way that you have to click on things, it is a lot quicker, and you can kind of double click when you're sending to the property, and in the phone is a bit slower. It is definitely yeah. If you have a phone, definitely go for it. I mean, it is doable. I still love it. I still do sometimes hunt in the phone.
Sure.
I love hunting in the computer. Definitely.
Yeah.
I have a MacBook for that.
Very cool. So it does work on well on MacBook. You don't need a ballsy gaming PC, for instance.
No, I got a MacBook with the Apple II chip, and
very good.
Amazing.
Cool. Very cool. What about cities? You mentioned you started in one city, Staten Island. You thought it was good. You moved. What type of city should a player treasure hunt in if they want to maximize it? Is there better cities? Is there worse cities? Is it just preference? What about cities?
Yeah, we definitely discussed that, and we have a paper on that. So which city would be the best? Basically, depends on the amount that you kind of want to spend. If you have enough resources to spend in a tier 1 city, go for it. I mean, Tokyo and London right now are kind of the best places to be hunting. One of the things in Tokyo and London is it's more a visual hunting, because people are placing their map assets or their crates from the structure ornaments in their properties, lowering their visit value, so that people can hunt a lot faster. Because, for example, in Queens, they don't have that. So I still have to look for those properties that are 25 UPX to send instead of 75 or 100. Sure. So I still spend time looking for them. So in Tokyo and London, with that strategy that started brilliantly. Don't know who started it, but thank you for that. But yeah, visits are to the roof from them. So yeah, if you can afford a tier 1 city, go for it. Otherwise, try to look for a tier 2. It's a lot better because of the amount of UPX and Spark than a tier 3 and than a tier 4 or 5 cities.
So is tier 2 like the sweet spot in your mind?
I would think so, yeah, because it's not like that expensive, and I can slowly keep up and keep buying properties.
Very cool. What about like Brooklyn? Is Brooklyn good? Brooklyn bad? Where does Brooklyn lie for you?
I like Brooklyn. I didn't focus on that city, so I only have like Flatbush Avenue collection. I love collections.
Okay. Yeah.
I only have that one. So I do go there when there are competitive hunts. I do spend a lot more cents, so I don't fancy that. I do like Bronx and Brooklyn as well, and Manhattan to.
So fun fact, I've actually started building a web in Brooklyn, so that's good. Good. I'm in a good city.
Definitely.
I'll have to pick your brain on tips, because I started. I have the south of Brooklyn. I need to get the north.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And if you are building your web and it's a big city, so you can not collect the chests as you go. So leave them. Don't open them. And then you can see the map and where your properties are and where are the chests and where you're missing your spots. So you have to increase your web there.
Yeah, that's a great tip. So don't open when you find a chest, leave it so you can see where you need properties.
Yeah, except the competitive ones, not the competitive ones. Those are taken off.
Yeah. Very cool. That's a great tip. I love that. Very cool. Rockdrigo, let's talk about you. You're in Mexico City.
I am, yeah.
Do you know any other Uplanders in Mexico City? There's got to be some, right?
I know just a couple actually.
Oh, okay.
I do know a lot of Latin friends.
Sure.
Cheers to Winnetka and Kew Garden Hills in Queens. Those are very nice Latino communities. There are a lot of people from everywhere, from South America, Central America, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, etc. But not as many Mexicans as I would like. We do need to make some sound here and make like a party to do something.
Yeah. We'll meet up in Mexico City or like a party. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. So how did you find Upland?
So I was very good at my job and I had some spare time and I started in crypto faucets. And then I went into crypto mining game. That was a very nice, interesting game. I even modded their Discord server. And then because of all that, I had to download Brave, and then I had the Upland ad, and I was like, interesting. And then I saw the opportunity. I was, take my money. So yeah, I started completely in love with what was Upland. I started in Staten Island's release, so for me it was like heaven. Then I understood that it was like the rubbish bin of New York. But yeah, still, I got my first collections there. I understood kind of what was happening. I started hunting later than in Staten Island, trying to increase my web. But yeah,
what was the initial appeal for you? Like, what sucked you in?
The community. I think the community was just amazing. I had issues. Everybody helped. The guy that I sold my first property was the guy that had the idea back in Quailwood. And we kind of looped around for 1 year before we even realized who we were and how he had helped me.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so the community was absolutely incredible. I started helping a lot of people with all the visitors that were asking, "Hey, visit me! I need help." And yeah, I was like, "Okay, I'll spare some of my treasure hunting sense to help grow people." So yeah, helping a lot of people make me enjoy more of the game because yeah, let's grow together.
I love that. Very, very cool. Let me ask you this. So you started in Staten Island. If Mexico City had been available, let's say it was already open before you jumped in, would your first purchases have been in Mexico City since that's where you're from, or would it have been an international city, a different city? What is that like for you?
Good question. Yeah. I would think first I would mean London. I lived there in 5 years.
Very cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I lived in 5 different houses in London, so I have a very good chance of getting them. They're still not there, minted or anything, but so still crossing my fingers.
All right.
That would be definitely the first place I'd go. But yeah, Mexico City for sure. It has a very amazing places here.
Yeah, Mexico City is so huge. One of the most, if not the most populated cities in the world.
Yeah, the second one, I think.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So
yeah,
we'll stay tuned. Maybe we'll get Mexico City here shortly. I think that would be fun. So
all right, yeah, definitely.
So anything else that you're working on that you'd like to share with the community?
No. We discussed a lot. I love I know there's like you were saying, there's a massive amount of things to do in Upland. So for new people and starters, don't try to get everything. So for example, I don't really race that much. I just got my one car finally like a month ago. I do like it, but I'm not that into that much into that. I'm not doing that much of NFL or soccer NFTs, not because they are any bad, but I cannot also cover everything.
Sure.
So yeah, try to get to what you like, and try to increase that from an interesting side, and make it grow. Don't try to take everything and not do anything much.
Yeah, great tip. Rockdrigo, where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you, if they want to connect?
At Rockdrigo in Discord, Rockdrigo token Twitter, and for the ratings analytics, I do the tweets with at Quailwood Upland.
Very good. And everybody, we'll leave those links in the description below. Make sure you check them out. Rockdrigo, thank you very much for joining us. This was invaluable. I love talking neighborhood ratings and treasure hunting. That's some valuable tips there. So everybody, reach out to Rockdrigo if you have any questions on any of that stuff, or you just want to connect. Maybe you want to get in Quailwood. Again, thank you, Rockdrigo. Guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Let us know who you'd like us to talk to in the comments below. Thank you again, Rockdrigo. We'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.